Take for you to sacrifice and compromise the central tenets of successful, happy, and fulfilling relationships. By my estimation, those tenets are unconditional love, non-judgmental acceptance, and open communication. In other words, what would it take for you to sacrifice having those things? Would the person have to be hot enough and good looking enough? Or would the person have to be rich enough? For you to sacrifice those things, having unconditional love for the sake of because the person is just good enough. For a lot of men, this is the case. For a lot of men, all she has to be is hot enough and good looking enough, and I'll do absolutely anything. I'll walk over broken glass until after the infatuation phase goes away, and they have to deal with the person rather than merely their looks. Or would security be enough for you to exchange, for you to forego unconditional love, your ability to love and be loved in a relationship unconditionally? Or your ability to be yourself and be able to be non-judgmentally accepted by the person? Or your ability to openly communicate about absolutely anything, even your most deepest and darkest desires with that person? Your ability to communicate that with a person. Are you okay exchanging that for the sensation of security? Now, of course, I propagate myself the open style of relationships that most people follow, go into relationships unwittingly. And this is the reason why they were willing to exchange those things, because they go into relationships without knowing what's in it and what works and what doesn't work. They go into it unwittingly, mostly blindly, because they follow the commonly accepted, socially accepted relationship style, which is for most people monogamy. And so they're saying, well, this is not like the old days where we have less freedom. We can now have love in our marriages. Except if you wanted love rather than marriage, if you wanted love, you would just be with a person without requiring a contractual a social contract and a legal contract of marriage, or a contract of sexual exclusivity. You wouldn't need that. You would just love the person and they would love you and you would be together, which is what a marital relationship would be. But you would say, oh, well, we can get two in one stone. We can get two birds in one stone. We can get security and love, because we can have the security from being married, monogamous with a person, sexually exclusive, and have love also. Well, if you're willing to have security in exchange for unconditional love, you can't be unconditionally loving because you have conditions. I want you to be very clear. You can't be unconditionally loving in a relationship where you're sexually exclusive. Do you understand? You cannot be unconditionally loving in a relationship where you are sexually exclusive, because you have the condition. It has to be conditional love, because you have the condition: if you're married to me, you have to be sexually exclusive to me, otherwise I will not love you. Have you ever been non-sexually exclusive in your marriage? How did that turn out? It's very hard to navigate that if you were willing to be truthful. If you're not willing to be truthful, it's a lot easier, but you are being conniving and lying, which is not a good way to live. So, are you you can't be non-judgmentally accepting, and you can't openly communicate. You can't say to your hubby or your wife, oh my God, that person is so cute, I would love to take them to bed. Have you tried that? How'd that work out for you? So you're saying, well, in exchange for security for my offspring, because as you know, Roan, there's a lot, the burden of having an offspring is tremendous for the woman, because that is the difference between men and women. The woman has a tremendous burden economically, calorically, and energetically, because raising an offspring takes years and years and years and years and years, unlike other primates, because we humans have the dilemma that it takes a long time for the child to grow up, but we get to have evolved this big brain. And that's the reason why the human mammals take so long to mature. To which I say, well, monogamy hasn't been discovered until after the agriculture era, until 10,000 or so years ago. We've existed for hundreds of thousands of years, and we didn't have monogamy. So we've had systems that worked already. Now, Are those systems propagating unconditional love, non-judgmental acceptance, and open communication? No. Now is the best time to be able to propagate that, because we have an awesome, most of the world now propagates a lot of laws to be able to facilitate the freedoms of individuals. Now women and men are more free than ever before. So here's what I would say to you. If you were to say, I get security from monogamy, do you? I have security for my offsprings from monogamy. Do you? You are no more secure having your offspring in a monogamous relationship than in any other format of relationships. Much better. You do not sacrifice unconditional love, open communication, and non-judgmental acceptance. I suggest an open style of relationships. If you want courses on that, click the link in my bio. Make arrangements. Follow the intimacy model of relationships, which I talk about in my other videos. And make arrangements. Build a relationship with a person, and they will become significant enough to you based on the arrangements that you make with them, the negotiations of those arrangements, and you can have the security of having your offspring in any dynamic of relationship that you want, not necessarily having to require monogamy or sexual exclusivity. Hopefully that came off clear. I hope it did. If you have any thoughts, inputs, comment below this video. Click the like, click the heart if you liked it. Share this video with other people and it'll make the world a better place for all of us. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.